Hello, everyone. Welcome to the series Teaching My Wife Artificial Intelligence. We are now on lecture 10 of 12 lecture series. In this lecture, we are going to learn to build a custom dataset. The question is, why would you build a custom dataset? And the answer to that is we already have had a tiny hint of it in our lecture 7. So the answer goes like this. Let's say you want to build a custom LL, which is highly accurate for doctors, lawyers, or any custom use case. You could spend billions of dollars on building a custom model, custom data set, and everything. Or you could build a small data set based on the actual field knowledge of people or any bigger and better paid LLM models. So you build that local data set, and from that, you build your own LLM. So why do we build a custom data set is once we build a proprietary custom data set, which turns out less than 100, 200, 500 instances are enough to make a bad model as good as ChatGPT latest model. So in less than $500 by having a custom data set, you can have the cutting edge performance so cheap. That's why building a custom data set is so important.
Okay.
Any any thoughts on this?
I actually agree that this is like, I would say, the most immediately useful applications of AI across uh, domains. So, like, what is it doing actually for me is capturing intelligence.
Hmm.
So, the kind of question answer pairs you build actually is the showcase of how intelligently you think about something. And the better quality, like the more nuances those question answers address for the domain, the more intelligent chatbot you'll end up with at very like a drastically less amount of resource and money and everything. So I think this is like really for me is highlighting what is the nature of intelligence, and how it's very different from how we have approached software solutions so far.
Correct.
It was like I would say software solution so far was a version of the factory setup. In factory, you have an assembly line, and the software development lifecycle was an abstraction of that. But AI is where the intelligence of a system, a person, anything is really, that's the thing that truly matters, not the assembly line.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter how you have written the code, it doesn't matter how complex your architecture is.
Hmm.
If it is not giving intelligent answers, if you cannot generalize the use case, then all that complexity has no meaning.
Hmm.
But through instruction fine tuning, even if you don't have that smart or that big of a model, you can still make it extremely useful.
Totally makes sense. To do this, maybe I will show something here. Okay. So let's say I want to build a custom cooking chatbot. Okay. For
Mm.
that, what does this alpaca breakthrough say? This in lecture 7, you might remember we did this fine tuning
Mm-hmm.
on this.
Alpaca, yes.
It was a research by Stanford, which was breakthrough research at that time. What they did
Mm.
is they started with only 175 human question and answer. So
Mm.
a single person would have sat,
Mm.
created high quality
Mm.
question and answer, and from that
Mm.
as a starting point, they built they asked GPT itself, you know what, from these questions, create more questions. And so they did that in less than $600 in, I don't know, in a week or something, probably. They got
Mm.
performance of a bad open source model to as good as ChatGPT. Now, this is what we
Wow.
did. Okay, this is the process.
Yes.
So anyone can become this. So here, if I ask, how do I cook, let's say, Indian biryani? Okay. Now here, if I ask this question, chatbot is answering. This is one way of getting intelligence to our model. We ask a high
Mm.
quality chatbot, which could be Gemini, which could be OpenAI, anything, and we keep asking it multiple times and get its knowledge. Or
Mm.
we have domain knowledge. Domain
Mm.
knowledge is approachable for all people. Everyone, you come from risk background. Other viewers come from whatever technical background they come from. They could be product manager, they could be program manager, they could be developers, anyone. Okay. Their specific knowledge, if they could build Google Docs of their knowledge,
Mm.
7 pages, 10, 20, 30, they could build over a month.
Mm.
And then you have an extremely large number of data to start with, which you can convert into more number of questions. And then voila, so the difference being, I can ask here biryani, but I can't ask this how to cook paturi because paturi will require domain knowledge. I wonder if it has how to
No, I
my
don't think.
fish.
Paturi is not even served in restaurants, and paturi actually means something different in West Bengal than it means in East Bengal. This is too domain specific, dude. I don't think.
Exactly. So paturi is a fish my mother-in-law cooks, which is amazing. So I'm just seeing if it's that family recipe. Is it? Does Gemini know? Difference between getting a knowledge from an LLM and getting a knowledge from a
See, mustard seed. So it did give an answer, but it's the more common West Bengal. So
hmm.
paturi means cooking inside a leaf. So you take mustard seeds and you like marinate the fish and you cook it inside a leaf. But the paturi you are referring to is an Eastern Bengal dish. I don't know who else cooks, but my nani cooks, and it's not. I don't know where else it's available, but it's domain specific versus what is generally available.
Yes. So go moving forward, what happens is like one in AI LLM when we kind of build, it's the cost of pre-training is kind of like birthing the child to training to the whole world, millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Instruction fine tuning takes only 1 or 2% of the cost. So you could see $600 1 week, one GPU, one domain knowledge person 1 week and this thing is done. Whereas imagine if you have to build your own chat GPT or Llama, you have to spend maybe 2, 3 years simply getting funding, then building a data center. If you have a data center, then parallelizing. It's a hard path.
Actually, you know what I'm realizing? Until software development lifecycle, all of it is inspired by, as I said, the assembly line.
Correct.
But AI training is very much inspired from human parenting. Actually,
Yes. Yes.
it's an intelligence. It's not a tool. Like it is a tool, but it is a tool for intelligence.
Hmm.
So it has a lot of parallels with parenting a system.
Correct. Correct. Very, very true. Very true. So that's the AI, right? And this instruction fine tuning data set, once you create, this can build a digital you. It can integrate into any existing domain. Don't no one in the middle of their career can start into data science from scratch. What you have to do is like you have to connect data science to what you already know. Automate some
Yes,
work which is
correct.
boring, automate some work which is very important. You could do a lot of things. That's where your value is. Now, how could you do that automation? Instruction fine tuning data set. So to do that, this is the 5 stage synthetic data creation pipeline. Okay. Step number one, we gather raw knowledge. Now, since last 4 or 5 lectures, we have been taking Pride and Prejudice as our data set. So that's why I'm simply continuing this. But instead of this, if you are building a domain specific one, it will be like, relevant books, maybe some important blogs, your own thoughts on it, lots of questions you could ask
You could
notebook.
also use your own research notes or papers you have
Exactly,
written and
exactly. Notebook,
stuff
LM,
like
your
yes,
personal
all your
notes,
sources.
all your sources. And through that, more you collect high quality data, that becomes very important data. Okay. Then you can, when you tell Gemini, create questions from it, Gemini is not being intelligent here. It's the context you provided. That's where the true value is. Okay. So that's the first thing. Then step number two is you kind of like say a prompt. You say, Gemini, you are trying to be an expert in this topic. So as an expert, generate diverse questions on this specific topic. Now, to this guy, we'll say you are a literary scholar, generate unique instructions based on Pride and Prejudice. So this is going to create instructions, and these instructions we will again ask an LLM to kind of like, you know what, answer this question. So what was instruction fine tuning? Question and answer, right? So we ask an LLM to generate questions. Then we ask LLM again, what is the answer to this question? Synthetic data set created. And because all the info, which is very high quality info, was given as a context, now LLM is very good at learning from it and giving us an answer. So we keep repeating this, and this is how we create a custom data set. So I will show
Okay.
a proper running code. So for that, I am using GitHub repository, teaching my wife AI. We are now at lecture number 10, instruction fine-tuning dataset creation. So first query we will execute. Okay. So this thing is what you find when you go on AI Studio, and there is a top right corner, there is a get API key. This is this API key. We create and then we copy paste it here, and I run this. So this is how you guys specify the key. Then you create a Gemini.client yahan se. GenAI.client, and you give it the password here. Okay. And then you ask the client to generate content. This is the standard format of using Gemini model, not going to change. Okay. Ye code was just the starting point. The main point, apna code, is this guy. This is the best code. So here I have created a simple function called as main. In that I am calling 6-7 functions of a individual functionality. First is load the book, which is Pride and Prejudice. Second is generate questions from that book. Okay. Then save the questions to a file, load questions from file, ask those questions to an LLM, and then save the dataset. You can logically see to create an instruction fine-tuned dataset, these are all the instructions you will follow, right? जो भी resources है वो एक जगह पे compile करो. Here it was a book. In your case it will be database or documents or anything. Then generate questions, answer those questions from an LM, and done. So first question, load the book. This guy loads the book and is fine. Then generate question. This generates questions. ठीक है? So I'm gonna run this. Okay. First question, it downloaded the text file. Then it created questions. How? It asked an LLM generate questions from this. तो उसका आंसर है ये. ठीक है? तो let me click here and take a look at these questions. These are questions according to different character, plot, themes, and settings. Both Elizabeth and Darcy must overcome flaws, namely pride and blah blah blah. So these are questions. Okay.
So there are 4 category of questions.
Yes. 4 category of questions. Alag plot related, theme related, year related. It has created the question, then it has asked an LLM, and it has gotten the answer. Once it gets the answer, question and answer का map का data set बन जाएगा. Simple, cheap.
Okay, getting answers from LLM.
Yes.
Okay.
Extremely simple, extremely cheap. And getting answer from an LLM, 1 million words का आंसर लेने के लिए $1 लगता है.
Okay.
So here,
Oh, it's very cheap.
it's very cheap. It's very cheap. So if I say Gemini 2.5 pricing, if you take a very professional model, it's $1.5 per million tokens, नहीं, per 200,000 words. पर और अगर 2.5 फ्लैश किया तो then this is $0.3.
Even cheaper.
Even cheaper. ठीक है?
Oh,
तो
okay.
और गूगल के पास कितना पैसा है? Google has so much data, so much thing. We kind of like, use that model and we are good to go. Right? तो ये था अपना सिंपल डेटा सेट क्रिएशन, और इस पे फाइन ट्यूनिंग
mm,
एज इज चलती है, वो हम करेंगे.
mm,
ओके.
mm,
देन नेक्स्ट पार्ट इज अ बिट मोर डिटेल्ड फाइन ट्यूनिंग, विच इज क्रिएटिंग अ टेम्पलेट. नाउ हम डोमेन नॉलेज की बात कर रहे हैं, तो वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट द क्वालिटी ऑफ द नॉलेज, राइट?
mm,
एंड टू उसके लिए देन वी हैव टू सी कि यार वो स्ट्रक्चर क्या नॉलेज का.
mm,
देन यहाँ पे आई आस्क्ड जेमिनी इटसेल्फ कि प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस का स्ट्रक्चर के हिसाब से व्हाट डू यू थिंक शुड बी द नॉलेज टेक्सोनॉमी, एंड इट क्रिएटेड,
mm,
यू नो व्हाट, कैरेक्टर में आई वांट दीज कैटेगरीज, बेसिक, इंटरमीडिएट, एडवांस. And that totally makes sense, right? You have different kinds of questions, and when I ask LLM, I can ask it create more basic questions, create more intermediate questions, create more advanced
mm.
questions. So this categorization character helps a lot. Themes may be same, basic, intermediate, advanced, and then उसके हिसाब से I put plot events को ऐसे categorize करके. So this is LLM gave, and then उसमें I will keep doing additions on my own. Okay. And the
This
reason,
is like a very elaborate reading comprehension exam, जैसे इंग्लिश के पेपर में आता था. एक पैराग्राफ देते थे, पढ़ के उसके
and
आंसर्स.
the only
हाँ,
caveat there is reading comprehension में हमें questions करने पड़ते थे, बहुत सारे लिखने पड़ते थे.
हाँ.
Here
हम्म,
types of questions लिखने पड़ेंगे. We need to ensure all categories is
हम्म.
covered. तो
या
यहाँ पे
करेक्ट.
देखो ना, ये कैरेक्टर्स में जो दिखा है ना, मेजर, माइनर वगैरह, द रीजन इट इज
हाँ.
रिटन लाइक दिस इज, हम प्रोग्रामिंग में एक फॉर लूप लगाएंगे. वी विल से
हम्म,
फॉर एलिजाबेथ बेनेट एंड समवन
हम्म,
फ्रॉम माइनर, क्रिएट
हम्म,
क्वेश्चन अराउंड देम इन अ बुक. तो ऐसे करके सब परम्यूटेशन एंड कॉम्बिनेशन के अराउंड क्वेश्चन होंगे. देन एट द एंड
हम्म,
ऑफ इट, एक बुक से हमारे पास इतना डिटेल डेटा सेट होगा, इतने डिटेल क्वेश्चन
हम्म,
होंगे, उनके आंसर होंगे,
हम्म,
सब फोकट के
हम्म,
एलएलएम से.
हम्म.
एंड देन वी फाइन
वाओ.
ट्यून अल्पाका वे जो
हम्म,
फॉलो किया हमने.
हम्म,
लेस देन
हम्म.
500, 200, $300, यू विल हैव द बेस्ट एलएलएम मॉडल इमीडिएटली.
ओके, ओके, ओके.
तो दिस टेम्पलेटाइज्ड वन में तुम जितना टाइम स्पेंड करके इसको और एडवांस बनाओगे, उतना
हम्म,
ओवर टाइम यू विल बी एबल टू जनरेट मोर एंड मोर एंड मोर
हम्म,
डेटा सेट, राइट?
हम्म,
तो यही है इधर यहाँ पे. सो दिस गाय जनरेटेड 4 पेयर्स. तो ये जो फॉर्मेट हमने किया था, इट नीड्स टू बी गिवन एज अ इनपुट, राइट? वी विल कीप इटरेटिंग ओवर इट स्लोली. ओके, सो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन फाइल दिस गाय हैज डन, हमने ये रन कर दिया है. नाउ लेट्स रन दिस. Okay, so it has asked us create a comprehensive data set or a specialized data set. I'm gonna say create a comprehensive. So it has template, right? So character analysis for easy all permutation and combinations के questions generate करेगा ये. How? Let's see the code. Don't be worried because of all of these things. मैंने इसमें भी main function लिखा है, which simplifies everything. ठीक है? So what is happening here? Step number 1, we are loading the book.
हम्म,
Then उसके बाद में create a comprehensive data set. This is the function being called.
हम्म,
अभी उस comprehensive में क्या हो रहा है?
हम्म,
Comprehensive में every permutation and combination, character 1 with character 2. So
हम्म,
ये सब एक दूसरे के साथ कैटेगराइज करके रैंडमली NP2 मैथ्स में रहता ना, आउट ऑफ दिस पिक एनी टू एंड क्रिएट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट. ये ऐसे मैंने
हम्म,
कोड लिखवा के लिया है. इट्स अ सिंपल
हम्म,
मिक्स एंड मैच, एंड देन वी जनरेट दैट क्वेश्चन एंड वी गेट द आंसर
हम्म,
फ्रॉम एन द LLM.
हम्म, हम्म.
हो गया.
ओ.
दिस is so simple. This is so simple. And it
ओ.
uses, nothing. Create a comprehensive data
हाँ.
set. We, for all categories, ये देखो यहाँ पे
हम्म,
code. For a category in categories. Make sense?
हम्म,
Then difficulties in difficulty.
हम्म.
So for different categories, different difficulties, I want to create different characters के combination के questions.
तो हमने
Once,
बेसिकली जो टेम्पलेट दिया है उसका ही मतलब वो परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन करके इट इज डूइंग दिस.
yes. एंड वो टेम्पलेट हमने बनाया ही इसलिए क्योंकि ये परम्यूटेशन एंड कॉम्बिनेशन कर पाए, क्योंकि हम ह्यूमनली
करेक्ट.
पॉसिबल तो सब क्वेश्चंस लिख नहीं पाएंगे ये, राइट? तो
यस करेक्ट.
we do it like this. So character analysis, who is X in Pride and Prejudice? This question needs to be asked for every character in the Pride and Prejudice.
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट
What are
करेक्ट.
the personality traits? True for every
हम्म.
character. So ये होगा loop एक for all of these questions, इसका all of these questions. ऐसे करके हमारा पूरा बनेगा. And when this thing runs, at the end of it, we will have a data set of certain amount, and then that is our data.
कस्टम डेटा सेट.
कस्टम डेटा सेट है हमारा. इसमें बहुत सारे वेज है इसको पावरफुल करने के. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जेमिनी जो अपना चैट में एक्सेस है ना, दिस वन इज फ्री. एवरी डे वी कैन डू 10,000 क्वेरीज फॉर फ्री. तो हम
नो.
इसे ना, वी कैन आस्क इट मे बी 500 क्वेश्चंस इन one query only. We can say answer all of
ओ.
these questions one by one.
करेक्ट 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 करेक्ट.
So
No, there are many. So I feel like this is making me think that AI has been criticized a lot for killing creativity, but I think the
yes,
type of creativity it enhances is different from the common notion. It
yes,
does not increase your emotional intelligence. It is more like it helps you think creatively in a structured way. So strategy docs or anything that is logical and in nature, it helps you brainstorm and think in a structured way better, so that it enhances that type of creativity. So you can do so much with just knowing this. You can do few changes. It's like how much can you leverage these things about these simple things about building a custom data set, and what can you do then with it? What kind of data sets can you create? So I think it's really triggering a lot of like this what I like to call left brain creativity, which is the logical aspect of our thinking.
I'll say
So
ये accessible for every employee in corporate है ये. Anyone can create a
yes.
customized data set. Multiple problems they know can be automated, and उसके लिए आपको
Hmm.
सिर्फ relevant data देना है. And a good rule of
Hmm.
thumb, 1000 examples is good to learn
Hmm.
from for an LLM.
Hmm.
एट
Hmm.
मिनिमम 200 भी मैनुअल इंस्ट्रक्शंस है,
Hmm.
उससे आप क्रिएट कर सकते हो, एक्सपांड टू
Hmm.
1000 और 10,000, एंड यू गेट अ वेरी गुड मॉडल. एनीवन कैन डू दैट.
Hmm.
So AI,
And it's very
that's why
easy.
is a
This is
plug
a
and play
prompt
knowledge.
engineering thing.
AI must be learned by everyone so that everyone with just this much part can do a lots of AI product for their own domain. Only they could do
Yeah.
it.
I would say in a shorter amount of time and even shorter amount of effort, you can get like way done, like you can achieve way more than you would have otherwise
Yes,
in
yes,
terms of productivity and ideas and strategizing and coming up with solutions that you otherwise would take too much time to hunt through old docs, etc., summarize stuff.
correct,
So all of this becomes very fast, and because it's faster, creativity flows
correct,
much better.
correct.
So yeah.
Yes. So this is how you build the data set.
तो वो
And
बन गया क्या उधर
वो
जो कोड रन हो रहा है?
let's see. Oh, ये हो गया. Okay. Let's see. Comprehensive IF. Okay, okay. इतना बड़ा डेटा सेट है. इसमें
ओ वाओ.
200 लाइंस है. ओके. इसमें क्या क्या है
ओ.
देखते हैं. Describe Colonel Fitzwilliam's personality.
कर्नल फिट्जविलियम्स पर्सनालिटी. वो एकदम छिछोरा होता है.
अच्छा, तो देन देखो ये टेम्पलेट दिख रहा है. देन डिस्क्राइब गार्डिनर्स पर्सनालिटी. हाउ डज एलिजाबेथ बेनेट चेंज थ्रू आउट द नॉवेल. फिर नेक्स्ट रहेगा
Falls in love.
हाउ डज मिस्टर बेनेट चेंज थ्रू आउट द नॉवेल. तो सब अलग अलग पर्सपेक्टिव से सेम नॉवेल के सब क्वेश्चंस जनरेट करके दिस बिकम्स आवर डेटा सेट. इट हैज रन.
Hmm.
हमने वी आर ओनली लिमिटेड बाय द काइंड ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी वी कैन शो. यहाँ पे हम बहुत
Yes.
क्रिएटिविटी शो कर सकते हैं. हम नोटबुक एलएम यूज कर सकते हैं. हम एआई स्टूडियो एक सेपरेट इसमें यूज कर सकते हैं. हम वी कॉन्स्टेंटली एक फाइल में वी कैन क्रिएट अ कॉन्स्टेंटली इवॉल्विंग टेम्पलेट जिसमें और हाई
Hmm.
क्वालिटी ये बनाएंगे. वी
Hmm.
कैन हैव मे
Hmm.
बी लेयर्स ऑफ टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चन बहुत हाई
Hmm.
क्वालिटी वाले एक जगह पे. एंड देन ऐसे तो बहुत
Hmm.
बहुत बहुत चीजें कर सकते हैं. स्काई इज द लिमिट. सो क्रिएटिविटी
Yes.
is to be shown here, not in
Hmm.
pre-training. This is what my conclusion has been in the field of LLM. Not everyone can do pre-training, but everyone can do fine-tuning, and they must learn to do
Yes.
fine-tuning, and it is
Correct.
learnable
Correct.
in less than 2 to 3 months. And Shreya, you
Yes.
have been at the end of this journey, so I hope this assignment you can easily see कि this assignment you can do.
Yes. Yes.
Create your own IFT data set.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
working code what we showed. और एक domain specific लेके
Yes.
will do it, and then we
Yes.
fine tune on it, and then we showcase it. That's our full fine tuned domain specific LLM. उससे
Yes.
companies बन जाती है बड़ी बड़ी.
Yes. Correct.
So this is our data set creation. Then the next lecture is we will take the exact same data set created. If you check here,
Hmm.
this is that Pride and Prejudice data set, and we use
Hmm.
it to do fine tuning. We do that in the next lecture, and this
I think this is the third last lecture, and I think there are two more lectures before
yes,
this series finishes.
yes. The last lecture is the project.
Congratulations!
Last lecture is project.
Yes.
So effectively speaking, this is second last, and then this one last and done.
Yeah, actually, this is the last, and then we showcase the project.
Yes.
Yes.
So good work and good job fine tuning LLM.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank
Cool.
you
Cool.
for
Sure. See you
your
in the next
time and
lecture.
effort.
Our final concluding one. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.